उहाँले यस कृतिको साहित्यिक महत्त्व मात्र नभई यसले प्रसार गर्ने राजनीतिक सामाजिक सन्देश पनि उजागर गरिदिनु भयो हामी समक्ष। अब म यस पुस्तकका अनुवादक आदरणीय B गुरुङजीलाई यहाँ आमन्त्रण गर्न चाहन्छु। I had already introduced you to the audience, but you were slightly late. But for those of you who weren't here, Mr. B Gurung is a poet and writer. He was the recipient of Golden Poet Award 1990 from the United States. He has over a dozen of books in print, including 2 volumes of poems and 2 novels. So I invite you to share with us your struggles and pleasures, if any, of translating this work.
Good afternoon, dignitaries on the dais, media personalities, ladies and gentlemen. माफी चाहन्छु यो अंग्रेजीमा अनुवाद भएको कारणले गर्दामा म बाध्यतापूर्वक अंग्रेजीमै बोल्नु बाध्यता छु. As a prelude, let me quote T.S. Eliot, who famously noted, "Poetry may make us from time to time a little more aware of the deeper, unnamed feelings from which the substratum of our being to which we barely penetrate. For our lives are mostly constant evasion of ourselves." And that's the prelude. When I consented to take up this project, Jacques Derrida's paradox rang clear and loud in my ears. A translation never succeeds. All the same, one is less sure about translating a poetic oeuvre, which surely is more than challenging job. However, I took my chances. Which certainly is more than challenging, as I have a strong reason behind this. To lay down straight from the shoulder, Dharma Ratna Yami's work has enthralled me. He combines literary sophistication with historical perspective. He's prolific, insightful, and pragmatic. He deserves more serious attention than he has received. Translation is an art of revelation. It makes the unfamiliar familiar. The child born out of translation lives forever between home and the foreign realms and takes up a new incarnation. Once across the frontier, moving between tongues and different customs, appears newborn and prototypically different. A translated version renders itself of necessity as an autonomous entity. Translating a tightly rhymed poetry of an epic proportion had been no easy undertaking. I was assailed by looming frustration and dilemmas. As these 2 languages, Nepali and English, are grammatically, phonologically, semantically, and structurally disparate at the extreme. Especially my wife, Kalyani, owes a lot in this venture. We discussed restlessly and thoroughly about the closest equivalents in terms of words and phrases, thumbing through the bilingual dictionaries. Most Nepali onomatopoeia barely found, so to speak, their English wedding partners. Despite this, still I had to carry on, no matter how, picking up the best alternatives, being heavily driven by the longing for perfection, I revised the text over and again to make it faithful to the original. True. Precision in translation is inconceivable, as it cannot be a Xerox copy. At the most, it can be an X-ray or MRI scans. At times, it may even transcend the fluency, the profundity, and becomes more dominant than the original creation. As in the case of Peter Cushey, whose translation of Milan Kundera's Life is Elsewhere from Czech into English, which turned out to be an international bestseller and earned him a National Book Award nomination in the United States. Nepal's history recognizes Yami not only as a man of letters, but also as a leading exponent of democratic movement of the late 1940s. He fought alongside such great martyrs as Gangalal and Sukaraj Sastri in the struggle against the tyrannous regime of the Rana oligarchs. He fought alongside Gangalal and Sukaraj Sastri for the cause of freedom and democracy and was jailed several times. Perhaps we all might have heard of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, an Indian jurist, economist, politician, social reformer who inspired the Dalit Buddhist movement and campaigned against the social discrimination rife in India. Perhaps we all might have heard of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, an Indian jurist, economist, politician, social reformer who inspired the Dalit Buddhist movement and campaigned against the social discrimination rife in India. Above all, he was the principal architect of the Constitution of India. During his visit in Kathmandu, he had enjoyed the humble hospitality at Yami's house. They were very good friends, and of course, that is history, which cannot be consigned to oblivion. My acknowledgements with sincere appreciation go to the following. Binod Kumar Gurung for bridging a contact with Hisila Yami, this is there, the famous daughter of the poet himself. Professor Dr. Sridhar Gautam owes no fewer thanks. My friends Alan Mersha Sanka of Beaumont University, a rare combination of editor, artist, and scholar, for meticulously looking through the entire completed text, deserves special credit, albeit he's not around us today. Finally, this magnum opus, Reply from Tibet, by one of the doins in the literary history of Nepal, is in your hand. I'm not in position to elaborate further about the book. The judgment is yours. The joy of reading Reply from Tibet is all yours. His flaws are entirely my own. I appreciate your time and patience despite a busy schedule. Thank you very much.